100% Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. We are in Tuscany, village, south of Siena. The grape is Sangiovese, but the wine is the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Much expensive, much better than generally of the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. So you can find for 10 euros a Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. It's very hard to find for less than 24, 23 a very good Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Okay, so this is the first part, like a little bit tricky. We are working Pienza, so the Sangiovese that is here, we cannot put in the bottle a name Montepulciano, okay? Because we are not in Montepulciano actually, but the vines over there, just from the half of this line, we are already in Montepulciano. So that wine it's Montepulciano. It's a Robin. I know it's a little bit ridiculous, but there are some borders that we have to respect, and there are a lot of rules that we have to respect, and also a lot of inspections. You probably heard that the Italians, we are not so good to follow rules, but I can tell you, when we talk about wine and food, we are extremely serious, because it's something that comes from our culture, from our traditions, or from our history. So and there are a lot of inspections. The inspectors, they check everything. So for example, what it means producing quality wines, first of all, always on the hills, up to the hills. These are natural breed. You can see this morning it was very windy, and the wind helps to use less copper or less pesticide, because the wind takes out all the flies. So it's very important to stay up. It's the same for the olive trees, okay? All the fly of the insect, they feel not comfortable when it's windy. Also, the climate here is perfect for the good wine, together with the Piemonte, where is the Barolo, the Biolo, other very good wines. And there is no irrigation system. We're not allowed to irrigate. If you want to produce wine and do business, we are not allowed to put irrigation system. So that is why we pray a lot, and because we need to have some rain, but not too much, some warm period, but not too long, never hail, of course, and a good balance is perfect. If you go to the New World, Australia, Chile, Argentina, US, you can find in Sonoma, you can find irrigation system. So they irrigate and they check the water they need. But this is not cultivation of flowers. So it's very different. We used to say that the grapes has to suffer, because once they suffer, they take the best nutrients from the soil, from the land. To she agreed. Our donkey, Sophia Loren. By the way, she's Sophia Loren. So, and also the production per hectare, it has to be very low. So if you leave the grape growing in a white way, you can have 120, 140 hectoliters per hectare, okay? In our case, we take 65, sometimes 55 per hectare, because once you reduce the quantity, you always have better quality. How we can do that? During the springtime, when there are all the gems coming out from the branches, we cut the extra gems. Normally they are between 8 and 10 stems. So, for example, at the bottom there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and this is 8. Oh, wow. By this one that is biggest, you can count probably 11 or 12. Whatever is on the bottom, we cut. We want the grapes to go up, okay, to catch the rays. And so during this cutting, the spring cutting, we cut the 50% of the production to keep lower, because to have the name of Nobile di Montepulciano, you cannot exceed this production, okay, this quantity, and this is very important. Also, another point of view concerning the quality is the distance among the trees. It's normally 80 centimeters and no 2 meters or like this. Why? Because we know for experience that this exactly distance, it's perfect to let's start a natural competition among the trees to catch the sediment, to catch the nutrients from the soil. What it means nutrients, 12 meters on the bottom here, the roots of the grapes, they go and they catch, okay? Sometimes in some lines, not here, but in other, I call gardens, they put some roses, okay? Do you know why they put roses?
Yeah, I noticed, yeah.
Do you know why?
No. The bees?
For what?
The bees.
Pollinate the bees and the...
No.
No?
No, it's just a ring. It's an alarm, because the rose is very delicate if you compare with the grapes. If there is something wrong on the land, you will get the roses
Wither, yeah.
like
Right.
2 or 3 weeks before the grape. So it's like a ring. Okay, the roses, they're not in perfect conditions. We have to do something. So we come here, we check, and maybe you can put some copper. That is the natural preservative to avoid any problems. And also it's important to pick up the grapes by hand, okay? Because you select with your with the machine you take everything. But with your eyes you can see, and you flow down what is not good. You take all the good stuff. And one other thing is during the harvest is normally here at the beginning of October. But just to let you understand, in the south of Italy, in Sicily, they have the harvest in the mid of July by night with a light and big trucks with light, and all the workers, they are like this.
Wow.
Because it's too hot, of course. Okay. For them, this is like a fridge temperature. It's extremely hot. It's like 50 during the day, 54. It's like North Africa. So, so they do in July because there is a pre-maturation grape. Here in this area, end of September, beginning of October. Sometimes we have to rush because we check the climate, the weather forecast, and we know there is going to be having rain for a week. You cannot pick up the grapes when it's wet. You have to wait till it's dry. So sometimes when we hurry, we check. Okay, when we take the grape is when we check the sugar inside the grape. There's a special. It's a special object. You squeeze the juice. You do like this, and you check the alcohol sugar. The sugar, there is a link to the alcohol. Sorry, because the alcohol develops. It's the sugar fermenting that becomes alcohol. Okay, during the fermentation. When it's here, the grape, you can check the alcohol, but you can check how much alcohol you will have in your wine. For example, you have to pick up the grapes when normally the bubble sugar should be around 20, 17, 18, and you are still in 14, and you have to hurry. You come here with the workers, and you open windows with your hands, okay? So, because the leaves, they protect from the too much warm and from the rain, they protect. But sometimes you need to open, take out the leaves, so the rays of the sun can get mature the grape in 2 or 3 days instead of a week. So this is another strategy that we can apply to that. And also, this room inside, it was our cellar until 7 years ago. Then we need more a plan B for weddings than a cellar here. So I moved everything on the back. But in order to have the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano that we had since the last 6 years, we didn't have before, we had to rent a corner of a big cellar in Montepulciano where they can keep the barrels, because if you come here with the barrels, you lose the denomination. Okay, so it's a little bit strange, but of course there are a lot of rules. Also the inspector, they come here and they check the quality of the grape, They check how many bottles we order, because if they know how much grape we declare, because of course we are not able to buy grapes from other lands. So if there is a bad season, it's a bad season. But there is a lot of fruits, most for the big producer, because they buy from other land or from the side, and they carry and they say, okay, this is our grape. But it's very hard, because they come here, they check before they harvest how much grape you have, how much you declare, how many bottles you order.